Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Brady and Josh from Be All In Sports. We're back again. As you can see, changing up the scenery a little bit here. Got my Christmas tree up,
Christmas time.
ready for the season, man.
Is
Ready
Mariah
for
Carey there with you?
do what?
Is Mariah Carey there with you?
She's coming over later.
Coming later.
Yeah. Yeah, we're here on a Friday, man, having some drinks, chilling. If you guys don't know, me and Josh were on live last night during the Green Bay and Detroit game for over 2 hours. Hope some of you might have caught that, stopped by. If not, I think I'm gonna maybe do another live coming up with the preliminary fights tomorrow night at least. Maybe we'll see how far that goes. I don't know. We'll see. Stay tuned. Maybe, maybe not. If you're into fighting, check it out. Check out the page. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Do all that fun stuff. But we are here today to break down. What is this? Week 14 already?
Yep, the final week of the fantasy season.
Man, how's the fantasy season going?
Not too bad. I'm in 4 leagues. I am in first in one of the leagues, second in 2 of the leagues. The 4th league we won't really talk about. It's a dynasty league. I'm kind of building in that. Shit happens, but
Yeah, that's right.
I'm playoff bound in 3 of the 4 leagues. Last year I was playoff bound in all 4 leagues. This year only 3 of the 4. I'll take it. So let's go.
Not bad. Not bad. Keep it up. Hope you win a championship. Since I'm not playing against you this year, you're good.
Yeah. Okay. I need it. It's been a while.
Yep. But yeah, so we're gonna we didn't do too bad last night. I think we had what was it? We had the minus or the +3 on the Green Bay side. They at
We
least
did say
I think that's
we
a
did say
push.
Packers. We did say Packers money line, but they also I said confident. I'm confident in the spread. They covered the spread, so I mean it's a push. But
Yeah. I think we also threw in there if you want to get a little bit riskier with it, you could
yeah,
go ahead and you feel confident about it. So I mean, they almost got there, but the resilience of the Lions, man, it's tough to beat a team like that when they're playing like this. But they're gonna lose a game. We talked about it
oh
last
yeah,
night, and there's some stuff this week that I think is pretty interesting as far as that goes.
yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's bring it on up. Here we go. We got the first game that we're going to talk about here. We got the New Orleans Saints taking on the New York Giants. Saints come in at 4-8. The Giants, 2-10, killing it. Plus 175 for the Giants, minus 210 for the money line on the Saints. -4 spread for the Saints, +4 on the Giants. Over under 40.5. Man, you know, I was thinking about this game. There's a question mark, but then the question mark obviously is Neighbors. I don't know if he's going to be playing necessarily or what the deal is there. But he is questionable as of right now. I think it's his hip that he's dealing with, some issue with the hip. The Saints also have some injuries over there too. They're also dealing with a pretty battered up team. Not the main players though. But I started thinking back. The Giants, they keep getting close. Except last week was pretty poor. But I still see the potential that they could bounce back against a team like the Saints. I just the going to New York, they got to be wanting a win here. If Drew Lock is going to be quarterbacking this week, which I'm assuming that he is, but I don't know if they're going to put back. I don't know. Have you heard anything on the quarterback news yet that I'm unaware of here?
Man, anything I've come across, they have not even mentioned it. I would assume that they're going to go with Drew Lock as opposed to Danny DeVito's cousin Tommy. It says here Drew Lock is drawing another start. So yeah, it's going to be Drew Lock.
All right. So I have to think that Drew Lock can perform better than what he did his first time out last week. So I'm just gonna kind of I'm gonna think that he's capable of at least leading this team a little bit. And I think this is the game at home. They're gonna be able to get it done. Man, the Saints, it's an up and down team. And to be quite honest with you, Saints aren't winning a lot on the road, I don't believe, if I remember from what I'm looking at. So, not saying the Giants are killing it anywhere, but
they're not winning a lot, period. Either one.
Yeah, they're definitely not. But I think the clouds align in this one. So safe play +4 spread for the Giants. That is going to be that's my safe play. But again, this is one of those situations like we just talked about with the Packers. I think with this team, it's a little bit different. I'm going against the streak. I think they got to put together a win sometime. They've kind of been getting close in some of their games prior to last week, and I think this is the week they kind of get it done or at least cover that spread. So risky bet +175 with that money line on the Giants. Safer bet +4 spread for the Giants. What do you say, Josh?
I actually agree with you. I mean, the Giants have not won a home game this year. And going back to Daniel Jones days, I'm pretty sure they're 0-9 or 0-10 in their last 10 home games. How do you not win at home in the NFL? The Giants have won 2 games. I get they're a putrid team. They've won 2 games this year, both on the road. And one of those was at Seattle. I mean, how that happened, I don't know. And yeah, the Saints dome team going, on the road in December to a cold weather. They're not going to Miami. They're going to a cold place. Saints are beat up. Giants are beat up. They're all using second, third string players for the most part. Yeah, you have Derek Carr there, which nobody can trust Derek Carr as far as you can throw him. Nothing against him personally, but, he's that kind of quarterback. The Giants have actually a pretty decent defensive line. They can get after the quarterback. So I think they're going to wreak havoc on Derek Carr. Neighbors, he's going to be limited. But, I mean, Drew Lock, he's getting a lot of targets with other quarterbacks. But he's obviously a little dinged up. But they don't need him to make or break this game. And you're not going to go – I don't know the numbers on this, but I don't recall a home team never winning a game in an NFL season. Yeah, the Lions went 0-16 one year, so they lost every game, obviously. I don't know how many times it happens where a team doesn't win a game at home. They're due for a win. I actually really like this bet. The +175, I would take that all day long. The Giants win this game. Over under, I don't think any team's going to – either one of these teams is going to score points. So I would – if you wanted to, I'd go the under on that just because this is going to be – I mean, it might get to 17-13. Who knows? Aside from a big play or, a special teams touchdown or defensive touchdown, I think they'll struggle to get to 40 points. So yeah, the Giants in this game for sure.
All right, yeah. I mean, I think we're both agreeing on that. I kind of thought that you might take the Saints in that one. Just
Nah, I'm not trusting Derek Carr on the road in cold weather.
Yeah.
And dome teams historically don't do well. Yeah, there are caveats and, exceptions to that rule. But the Saints are not the exception to that rule, considering where they're at. They're 4-8, man. So they're not winning much either. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so either. All right, we'll get on to the next game. Here we go.
All right, so on to the next game. We have the Cleveland Browns versus Steelers. 9-3, 3-9, almost the same record, just reversed. Over under 43.5. So one team's really good, the other team is not really good, by record anyway. The Browns have been coming through on some bets, though. I mean, I picked them to cover the spread, and they've actually come through and won some games, particularly the division games. So that +6.5 spread, I get they're on the road, but we just saw the Browns against Denver on the road in Jameis Winston lit the Broncos up, who had a stellar pass defense, top 5, and he dropped 497 yards on them. So the Browns are not going to be able to run the ball in this game. Their running game is atrocious. Nick Chubb, love him. Glad he's back, but he's just not – he's playing, but he's not back to what he was, obviously coming off that devastating injury last year. But since the Browns have decided to do what they did last year, just, hey, let's take the veteran quarterback that basically came off the couch and just say, screw it, chuck the ball 50 times. Let's see what happens. That's basically what they're doing. I mean, Winston threw it 55 times or something last week against the Broncos. That's not a recipe for winning, but it's a recipe for keeping the games close and competitive. So the Steelers win this game, but again, we go back to the division games, 6.5 spread. I like the Browns to cover this, and I know Brady loves the alternate spread, so not to step on your toes, but if you can take that up to like 8.5, 9, and you might still get decent odds on it, Browns cover the spread and keep this game competitive because the Steelers, they're good, they're solid, but they have their weaknesses, and the Browns, for some reason, just always come to play against the Steelers and the Ravens. So, yeah, it's going to be a good game. Outdoors, obviously, in Pittsburgh, probably going to be cold. The over-under, I mean, last game it was, what was the last game again? 24-19, so it hit right at the 43 points. I see it hitting right there again, to be honest with you. And the score's going to be pretty close. But I would be confident in taking the Browns to cover a 6.5 spread. What about you?
Yeah, I'm actually going complete opposite. I think this is the game to me. The Steelers come in and they're like, listen, the last game we let you pull some shit because we weren't ready for that shit pulled, and
Snowball.
it started snowing, and we didn't know that it was going to be like that. But this time, listen, little bitches, we're going to put you right back in your dog pound. We're going to shut the cage, and we're going to throw away the key this week because it's done. You're not going to do this. You're not going to beat a 9-3 Steelers team under Mike Tomlin. You're not coming to Pittsburgh as a 3-9 with a backup quarterback and beating the Steelers for the second time. It's not going to happen. So, you know, I am going to call that this is going to be one of those big time stompings by the Steelers. Maybe not a high scoring, but I think it's going to be one of those games where they really hold them in check. I think the Steelers are going to I think it is going to be one of those that could possibly stay under that 43.5. I'm not extremely confident about that, but I think it could possibly stay under that 43.5. But this is my most confident pick of the week as far as a money line pick goes. I'm highly confident that the Steelers they will get it done, and again, I just feel like you're not going to beat this team twice. It looks like we lost Josh. I don't know what is going on there. I will try and reconnect him in just a second and see if I can get him back. But yeah, I think this is going to be one of those that the Steelers are going to take it home. Big games probably by the running game, I think, is going to play a big part in it this week. That passing game was obviously a big part in the snow. So weather conditions aside, I don't think it's going to be as bad. Even if they do play in weather, I don't think it's going to be as bad as what it was last week. So I am looking for the Steelers to get this done. This is my most confident pick of the week. I'm taking Steelers on the money line in this one. And I might even mess with this. This is one that you could possibly even mess with that spread bet a little bit. I would probably take it down to -2.5. And I think that -2.5 would kind of put you right where you want to be as far as how this game was going. There's Josh. He's back.
Sorry, man. My shit quit. So I don't know what the hell happened there. Okay.
I noticed that. Well, I was just telling them that I think you can put the spread down to -2.5 for the Steelers and be safe there. But I am full in. My most confident pick of the week is going to be that Steelers money line. I think they get it done.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a heavy amount of passing. I do think the under 43.5 is going to hit. Like I said, I think that's I think it's one of those you're going to see more on the Steelers side as far as scoring goes. Not saying that Jameis isn't going to get him in the end zone. Yes, I think it's going to happen. But I'm just seeing more of like a I don't know. I'm thinking like maybe 16-10.
Well, here's the thing, though. So, I mean, since they can't run the ball, and the Steelers have a good run defense anyway, so even if Chubb / Jerome Ford, the Browns had somewhat of a running game, they're not going to be able to run on the Steelers. And again, the Broncos have a really good pass defense. Surtain's a top 5 cornerback, and him and Judy are best friends. So I guess they did a under the table handshake, like, "Hey Judy, you want to have your career game of 235 yards against me?"
Money
Yeah,
definitely passed hands.
yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, I'll get you paid. And Judy's like, "I already got paid." But
Yeah.
anyway, I don't see the Browns again. If Jameis chucks it 45 times again, and he averages 6 yards per attempt, which is low, that's gonna be 300 yards passing.
Right.
There's got to be points scored. But I mean, this game's a caveat to me. I do agree with you. The Steelers win this game. It's just what's the score going to be? I wouldn't touch over under. Again, I feel really confident the Browns cover the spread at 6.5. Again, do alternate spread like Brady was saying. But yeah, aside from that, man, it's going to be fun to watch, like all football is.
I'm not like 16-10 is they would cover that spread, but I'm not extremely confident in them covering that 6.5. But I get it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical on it this time, but we'll see how it plays out. Like I said, my most confident pick of the week, Pittsburgh Steelers at home, baby. Let's go, money line.
The game.
Get that, and we'll fight. We'll figure out a parlay for it. But yeah, I mean, I don't like taking minus 285s, but damn, dude, I feel really confident about this one. So who the hell knows?
Yeah.
But all right, on to the next one. All right, next up, we got the Atlanta Falcons 6-6 going to the Minnesota Vikings 10-2. Minus 260 money line, plus 215 money line for the Falcons. -6 spread, +6 on the Falcons. Over under 45.5. You know what? On this one, man, I'm going.
It's Kirk Cousins' revenge game.
Yeah, Kirk's back in the building, baby. I'm going Falcons, but not for that reason. Listen, the Falcons have won 6 games total, and 3 of those games have been won on the road. So they're not unaccustomed to winning on the road, for one. Vikings have lost one of their 2 at home. So again, that's kind of a toss-up. I'm not saying that it's a surefire lock here or anything along those lines, but Falcons coming in off 3 straight losses. And if you look at the last few games the Vikings have been playing, it's been pretty razor thin at times. This team seems like they're on the verge of giving one up. And this is the perfect recipe for me to look at it and say, yep, it happens all the time. If you look at every single week, I guarantee you're almost every single week, you're going to find a minus 200 in that range, from a minus 200 to a minus 350 who loses. It happens every single week. This is football. Anything can happen in football. Stars align in this one, and I think Kirk Cousins comes back to Minnesota. I think he gets his revenge in this one, and next thing you know, he's probably got a new slogan out because he says something in the locker room afterwards, bumps the Falcons up. They end up barely making the playoffs, and it's the Kirk Cousins story once again. But I feel like it's going to be Falcons in this one. I love the spread. If you want to take Falcons +6 spread, I think that's the most confident right there out of those 2. But man, this is one I would probably throw them a little bit of money. I wouldn't go overboard. There's no reason to throw the world at it, but plus 215, I'm taking a shot on the Falcons money line. What do you say?
Well, I think Kirk Cousins is going to come into the locker room with a shirt that says, "Do you like that?" Because revenge game, I'm buying into the revenge game this year for sure. Like, Jerry Jeudy should not have gotten 235 yards receiving last week. That was retarded. Absolutely ridiculous. So I'm fully buying into the revenge games. The Vikings, I love their defense. I'm still believing their defense, and their coaching staff is better than the Falcons. And Cousins has looked terrible. But Cousins, throughout his career, has always been the quarterback that when everybody says, oh, see, he's terrible, we should start Penix or whoever his backup was. And then he comes out and just lights the world on fire and drops 35, 40 points on a team he shouldn't do it to and wins the game. And then, he says, do you like that? So I agree with you, especially the spread. I mean, 6 points. The Vikings they're winning by razor thin margins against teams that aren't that good. Looking at you, Jaguars. They beat them 12-7. Are you kidding me? How is that even possible? So, yeah, I like this pick too, and I agree with you. Usually, like you said, the teams that are favored, minus 200 to minus 300, one of them loses every week. This is definitely the time that it happens. The Vikings are 10-2. The Packers are better than the Vikings overall. Packers can beat anybody. They just proved they can go to toe-to-toe with anybody. The Vikings are good, but at 10 are they 10-2 good? No. I think they've probably won 2 or 3 games they shouldn't have. So, and the Falcons are in a fight for, the division. Vikings are pretty much assured a playoff spot unless they lose out. Even if they lose out, they still win the playoffs, most likely. So, yeah, I like that pick. The Falcons, I'm on board. Kirk Cousins revenge game. Do you like that?
Let's go!
Oh, right. Exactly right.
Yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, I do like it as like underdog of the week type pick shit. I think it's Vikings haven't been bombing anybody right now, and
they haven't been overly impressive against anybody.
Close. No,
yeah, for a 10-2 team, and I get we say it's the NFL, and the Chiefs barely beat the Panthers, this and that, but you're 10-2, man. I'm not saying you're not going to roll everybody, but against lesser competition, you should be able to kind of, beat them handily, and they're not. Now, the one thing I will say is Justin Jefferson's been pretty quiet recently. He's due for a monster game. Still doesn't mean they're going to win the game, though. And again, the +6 spread, I like the over 45.5 for sure.
Yeah, I do like that.
I think the Falcons cover that spread and probably win the game. I agree with you there.
Dude, Kurt had some pretty monumentous games in this stadium, so I think this is going to be another one.
Yeah, he's going to have no problem going on the road to where he used to play and feel comfortable. And the Falcons need to win. Like I said, lost 3 in a row. Vikings are on a winning streak. I love that pick. Falcons.
Yeah, and like I said, the Falcons have won 3 of their 6 games have been won on the road.
Yeah.
So, like I said, they're not unaccustomed to winning on the road to begin with. So, all right, there you go. I thought we were going to possibly disagree on that one, but hey, we nailed it right on the head with both of us. So, Falcons, I'm going Falcons money line, and I love the +6 spread even more. I think we're both on those, and we like the over 45.5 on there. So, agreeing. Bam. Next game.
All right, so the next game we got the 6-6 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the 2-10 Las Vegas Raiders. Yikes! So many 2-10 teams, it's ridiculous. Like, win a game, people! Come on. Good night. There's really not much to be said about this game. The 6.5 spread. I've been reading things. Everybody thinks the Buccaneers are going to run away this game. The Raiders can keep this game close. So the large spread, I picked the Raiders to cover this, actually, believe it or not. Aiden O'Connell can sling it. The Buccaneers are not very good on defense. They're very susceptible. Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, they're going to have a day again against if they can have a day against the Chiefs on the road in the cold weather, they can have a day against the Buccaneers in the warm weather in Tampa. Again, Tampa wins the game. Raiders keep it close, and I think the under hits on this one. because I don't think either one of these offenses are, the Raiders can't run the ball. The Buccaneers can, and Mike Evans is dinged up again. So who knows? And when that happens, Bucky Irving's dinged up too. So I would bet hard the Raiders to cover the spread and the under. I don't think this game reaches 43 points, let alone 47. Think about it. How are the Falcons and the Vikings, who I think are two better offenses overall, their over-under is 45.5, and this one's 46.5. How does this one have a point higher? I don't get that at all.
They must think that the Buccaneers are going to absolutely
They do,
come out.
yeah, they do, and I don't think that's the case. I think Matt Crosby is going to make life hell for Baker Mayfield, like he does for Mahomes and every other quarterback he faces. So, not enough to maybe win the game, but enough to keep it close, inside 7 points for sure. The Buccaneers are not 7 points better than the Raiders. The record definitely is misleading, and I think that's helping boost that spread, which, hey, as bettors, take advantage of that. I don't see the Raiders going there and getting blown out. I don't see that happening. I see this game being pretty close, like a 23-20, 20-17 game. But, yeah, I would go the under and Raiders cover the spread.
All right. Here we go. Bitches, I'm picking the Raiders.
I know. Right?
Here we go. Listen.
I know, man. Again, 2-10 teams, man. There's only so many teams that are going to only win 3 or 4 games. This is going to be one of the Raiders.
The Bucks have lost 4 fucking games at home this year.
Right. Yes.
Give me a break. The Raiders have lost 8 in a row. I eat these trends. This is what I live for right here. This is just along the same exact lines. We just talked about this. A plus 240 on the money line. I love the spread. I 100% think they cover the spread. And yet, I don't think the Bucks are all that.
No.
You're going to tell me how much are you putting into your last 2 wins? The Bucks, you beat the Carolina Panthers, which granted they're playing better
in overtime.
Hey, and the Giants.
And needed a fumble in overtime when the Panthers were in your territory to kick the winning field goal to win that game.
The Giants. And you beat the Giants.
Yes.
You have literally lost 3 straight at home.
Yep.
4 games total this year at home. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think one of the 2 wins that the Raiders have is on the road too. So, it's a combo.
They beat the Ravens. They beat the Ravens in Baltimore.
Listen, it's football, people. And for a team, I know that some teams have gone like 1-15, 0-16, whatever. I get it. It's a long season and teams wear down, and the Bucks are a perfect example of a team that right now is wearing down a little bit. They're wearing a little thin. And Baker isn't going to come out and be able to win a game by himself throwing to nothing but backups and the tight end. So, listen, this is the perfect opportunity in my mind. If you're going to take the Raiders, they're super pissed off about last week's game.
Yeah.
It ended horribly for them. And you know that any team that has a quarterback that I think O'Connell is a quarterback that wants to win. I don't think he's not cashing in anything.
No, he's serviceable though.
Yeah, and he is.
He's a quarterback. He's not bad.
He's okay. He's I think against this team he can get it done. Like you said, the Bucks aren't stopping people. So again, I think it's one of those perfect combo situations. 8 losses in a row. I hate taking if a team has won 10 games in a row and they're going up against a team that's lost 8 games in a row, I'm probably going to go with the 8 games in a row that the team has lost, because even I think a team can't win that many times in a row. It's very, very difficult. So I'm taking the Raiders, man. Money line on this, and I won't go huge confidence, but I will say I'm confident enough to put at least a little sprinkle on the Raiders money line in this at plus 240. I'll take it. I'm definitely going to put a little bit on it. What do you think? Yep.
We agree again, man. I mean, Buccaneers aren't blowing nobody out.
Nope.
I mean, they did blow the Saints out, but that's the Saints. And I think the Raiders have a little moxie going on. They coming off a tough loss against the Chiefs. They arguably could have won that game. Like we said, Raiders definitely that spread for sure. Cover that. They're covering that. Yeah. And I like them to win too. I'm not gonna lie. It would not surprise me at all. For sure. So we agree again.
There you go. Damn. I thought that was going to be the one that we were totally going to go in the opposite direction, but
you know me.
There it is. All right. We're going to hit the next one. Bam. Next up, Carolina Panthers, whopping 3-9 record. We got the Philadelphia Eagles, 10-2, coming in on some monster wins. Plus 550 money line for the Panthers, minus 900 money line for the Eagles. Ooh, that spread. Plus 12.5 for the Panthers. Damn. Over under is 45.5. I'll tell you right now, the way the Panthers have been playing, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I love the spread. The 12.5, they've been getting really close to even some decent teams here recently. And again, this is another one. 10-2, baby. What have I been saying and saying and saying? Now, I'm not saying that the Eagles are going to lose this game, but I don't want anything to do with their betting side, honestly. I understand how good they are. I understand how good they are at home. But listen, things get weird, and I think this is a perfect little weird spot.
Things get weird.
I wouldn't feel confident taking like a plus 550 money line. But to me, when I look at any plus 12.5 spread, we've talked about this a number of times. It's two NFC teams, so even though they're not in the same division, they are in the same conference, and those tend to sometimes play out a little bit closer. And I think this is going to be another one, the way the Panthers have kind of started coming along. And I think, when streaks can't last forever. And I think this is another one that either gets really close to being taken down or does possibly get taken down. But I'm going to take the bet that I like in this is going to be that plus 12.5 spread. If it goes up possibly to plus 13.5, I like it even more. So that's where I would lean in this one. What do you think?
I think the Eagles dominate this game. The Panthers, they've come close the last two games at home. And one was against the Chiefs, but Eagles are just too good right now. They're just dominating everybody. They basically like the Ravens. I mean, they put up, 25 points and Jalen Hurts threw the ball 19 times. The Panthers can't stop the run. And I think the Eagles have a good running back. Is it his name? Saquon Barkley, I think. Is that his name? Yeah, I hear he's pretty good. So he'll be out of the game by halftime because they'll be at 30 points. This game's not going to be close. The over-under, 45.5, take that because the Eagles are going to score 40 points. Probably in the first half. Yeah. Eagles dominate this game, and we've been banking on the streaks all year long. Like we said, we don't like the long winning streaks. I agree with that. But apparently this year in the NFL, follow the trend maybe because we've been trying to go against it, and it hasn't worked out well. So follow the trend, which means teams are winning a lot of games in a row, more than they should.
I'm definitely following a trend here. And the trend is that I've told you week after week after week after week that when a team expends their energy getting one win over a big team, which it is the same, it's no different than last week, in my opinion.
Yeah, but
Eagles beat the Ravens. I didn't even think they were going to win that game. It
yeah,
still makes perfect sense to me. I'm not saying that the Eagles are going to like lose the game necessarily.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the way the Panthers have been playing, I get it. I'm just saying I don't think
if it was in Carolina, I'd be more inclined to even touch the spread. The fact it's in Philadelphia and Bryce Young, I get he's been decent, last couple games. Good for him. Hopefully he does end up making a career out of it. But I don't see the Panthers being able to touch the Eagles 35-10.
I mean, I wouldn't feel that confident. Out of the two games that the Eagles have, one of them was they lost at home. So
but it's not gonna be the Panthers though. Eagles crush the Panthers. That's my pick.
All right.
And they cover the spread. You're not winning any money by betting on the Eagles. So honestly, this is not really a game you want to put money on unless you are feeling froggy like Brady apparently is, and you think the Panthers can score some points to keep this game close, because the Eagles are going to score points. The Eagles also have the best defense in the NFL the last 8 weeks of the season since their bye week.
I totally I agree with you. The Eagles are going to score points, but so did the Chiefs. And I didn't think that the Panthers would even keep it remotely close in that game, and they did.
Yeah, this is true, but the Eagles also have a way more dynamic offense than the Chiefs do, and they have a better defense. The Chiefs' defense has been leaky a lot recently the last month, a whole lot. They've given up 27 points a game the last 3 or 4 games. That's not good. The Eagles barely gave up 22 points to the Ravens on the road. So, yeah, Panthers have no shot in this game. Like NFL, any given Sunday, Eagles walk away this game. Don't bet it. Stay away from it. Unless you want to put in some parlays for Saquon to get, 600 yards.
I believe, honestly, I think this spread actually went up to 13.5. Yeah. So listen, I'm telling you right now, I do not agree. I think that this is the perfect game for the Panthers to score points. They're going to play harder. Every team like this has a target on their back at this point, and every team that wants to prove something, they're in the prove it mode. They haven't been winning, but they've been getting really close again. And I still say it's happened time and time again where that team coming in has expended themselves getting a win, and then the next game they do not play the same. I think this is the exact same thing right here. I'm not saying that it's going to be like a very close game. Yeah. 10 points. But you're going to give me a plus 13.5 spread. Anything in football is possible, and I think this is highly possible. So I'm going to stick with it, but this is going to be fun because now we'll get to see like where this goes. But
I think I know it's going to go. It's not going to be pretty, but okay.
We'll see. We will see.
That's why I play the game.
I've heard that before.
Right. All right, so now we're on to the 3-9 Tennessee Titans versus the 2-10 Jacksonville Jaguars, missing their starting quarterback for the rest of the year. This is another amazing game with teams who have awesome records fighting for, I don't know, the number 1 overall pick, obviously. Then Tennessee over under 40.5. I didn't even talk about this game with a straight face.
Dude, I kind of like this game.
I do. The records crack me up. It's 2-10 and 3-9. They're in the same division. You guys can't beat anybody else.
I get it. I do.
I mean, and you got Will Levis, who Levis is not a terrible quarterback. He's pick 6 happy, but outside of throwing pick 6, he's pretty serviceable. I'm using him in a dynasty league. So, yes, he scores points. That is a good thing in, fantasy football. But the Jaguars have Mac Jones, Their top 2 wide receivers are out for the year. I'm sorry. Gabe Davis and Christian Kirk. So wide receiver 2 and 3 out for the year. They got Brian Thomas Jr., who's good. Titans have a serviceable defense, especially when they're playing lesser competition at home too. There's not much to say about this game. The 3.5 point spread, I don't trust Mac Jones at all. Divisional games are usually close. If Trevor Lawrence is playing in this game, I would definitely say the Jaguars can cover this spread. He's not. Mac Jones is not a great quarterback at all. Again, Titans got a good defense, good running game. Jaguars also can't defend the pass. I could probably go run a route and catch a 60-yard touchdown pass against them, and I only run a 4.7 40. So Titans win this game. I would say just bet that because over-under 40.5. I mean, it seems low, but maybe it's not because neither one of these offenses are that great. So I really wouldn't touch anything else in this game except if you want to put the Titans money line in parlay with something else, I'd feel confident doing that because I think the Titans win this game.
Yeah, I tried to find a way to pick the Jaguars. I was like,
yeah, so did I. Exactly. I tried. I'm like,
let me see what I can get. Let me
do
see.
it. Right, but
Yeah.
it's Mac Jones, a quarterback.
Yeah, I just can't trust it. I think the Titans defense is a little bit better here.
Right.
I do like that under 40.5 though. I
would tend to lean towards the under as well because I don't think neither one of these teams can really score. The only thing is the Jaguars defense is bad. So I can see the Titans scoring 27, 28 points, and then the Jaguars only got to get 14 to get that. And I think they can probably get 13, 14 points even with Mac Jones.
That's very true.
So
yeah, man, I honestly don't have too much more to dwell on this one because
that's pretty much all you can say about it.
I think you're right. I mean, I'm picking the Titans to win this game. I tried with the Jaguars, just couldn't get there.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is out. You weren't very good with him, and I don't think you're going to get better without him. So
yeah,
I got to pick the Titans in this. He's had more snaps as the starter, and I think it's going to go their way. I think this is kind of one of those. I'm not overly confident, but I'm a little confident that it's going to happen. So take it for what it is. I wouldn't mind. Sometimes it is best to take a piece that you're overly confident with and take that and put that with something that you're confident with, but then take it again and put it with something like the Titans money line too, because it's not bad. You're going to get plus odds when you put those two together. And I feel pretty confident the Titans come out with this one, but anything can happen in football and it's not guaranteed, but I like this. I like the Titans money line on this one too. So we'll move on to the next one. All right. We got the New York Jets, 3-9, taking on the Miami Dolphins. They're going to Miami this time. 5-7 Dolphins. Minus 250 on the money line for the Dolphins, plus 210 for the Jets, plus 5.5 on the spread for the Jets. Over under 44.5. The Jets did clean. They won the last game, but it was when the Dolphins were at a disadvantage. Yeah. Dolphins are at home right now. We know how Tua plays at home by now. This Jets team just, I don't know. It's hit or miss every single game. You never know what you're going to get with them. One game they could look like barn burners, or the next game they look like a total turd. It just, I'm going to go with who I think has looked a little bit better and more consistent. That's going to be the Dolphins. At home, and I think they're going to be a little bit more motivated than the Jets are right now. I mean, what are the Jets playing for? Aaron Rodgers to stay? I just think it's one of those situations that I don't know who gives a shit, really. It's the Jets. I just don't see them giving a shit anymore. I think
They
the
don't.
Miami Dolphins are still kind of playing for something.
They
I don't.
don't.
Yeah, and I think that's the way this game plays out. McDaniel's goofy ass gets a home win. There we go. Bam, bam, bam. What do you say?
My turn.
Your
My
turn.
turn. Yeah, I agree with you. The Dolphins, actually, since Tua came back, their offense has been on fire. It's been really good, averaging 27 points a game. They're top 5 offense, if not number 1, I think. I don't think number 1, but they're top 5 for sure. And the Dolphins, especially under Tua, they have a propensity to beat up on bad teams. They lose against good teams, but they beat up on bad teams. The Jets, I think, let me check. Hold on. Checks notes. Yeah, they qualify as a bad team. The entire Jets team has checked out. I'm reading stuff this week where the receivers went out and Devontae Adams just got there. They're talking about not even playing Aaron Rodgers anymore, which is not going to happen. But still, Jets completely checked out. Dolphins can still make the playoffs. They're not that far out. They're in the hunt. So they have a lot to play for. Like you said, it's in Miami. They lost the last game because Tua didn't play. And again, the Dolphins beat up on bad teams. So Dolphins win this game. Believe it or not, we always talk about the divisional games being close. I don't think this one's close. The 5.5 spread, I think the Dolphins cover the spread. But wouldn't bet it. I would take the Dolphins money line, parlay with the Titans money line, and you probably get pretty decent odds on that one. But Dolphins win this game because the Jets are a shit show, and they're not taking off. I don't even know they're landing. I think they're crashing somewhere. Like the landing gear is not up or down. I don't know what's going on with them. There's no flight attendants. I don't even know there's a pilot in the cockpit.
It's Aaron Rodgers. It's fucking Aaron Rodgers.
Like, who's pilot? They're on autopilot, but the autopilot is like the autopilot from the movie Airplane, the blow-up guy. You know, I don't even think that. Yeah, seriously.
Aaron Rodgers driving a plane and it's going nowhere. It's stuck in the hangar.
Don't come apart at me now.
Tires flat, wing fell off.
Yeah. For those of you that haven't seen Airplane, the movie, it came out in like 1977 or 78. I don't know. Slightly before I was born, but not much. It's a great flick. Go watch it. And Airplane 2. Funny movies. The Jets, like, remind me of that situation.
Falling.
For real. Next.
All right. Yep. Dolphins it is. Next game.
All right. So this game, now we're getting to something that's a little more intriguing. The 7-5 Seahawks go on the road to the 6-6 Cardinals, who they just beat 2 weeks ago. Because Kyler Murray threw a pick 6. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was not good. And the Cardinals defense has been really, really good the last month and a half or so, especially last month. So since the Seahawks beat them last game, and this is going to be for first place, I love the Cardinals here at home. I think last game in Seattle was a fluke. The Cardinals probably should have won that game, but they didn't play well. Kyler Murray's very inconsistent. Geno Smith is pretty much the same way too. Do you know he only has like 1 or 2 games with 2 touchdown passes this entire year? Geno does. That to me is a crazy stat after 12 games.
Did not know. Did not know that.
That's a crazy stat. The spread, I wouldn't touch a spread because this game is going to be close. You over under 44.5. The last game was what, 16-6, I think.
I think that's right.
In both of these defenses have been playing better as of late because the Seahawks, they got some young players on defense. Some of them got banged up early in the year. If I was going to bet anything in this game, it'd just be the Cardinals money line. But I also think they go under the 44.5. Neither one of these teams are barn burners, believe it or not. They have the talent. They're just not. And DK Metcalf is kind of banged up. He's going to play, but how healthy is he? And mean, the Seahawks offensive line, they've always had offensive line problems. Both of these teams have good defenses, which is played out in their previous meeting. So, yeah, I like the Cardinals in this game, and I'm very confident in the under 44.5. I think this game's going to be a 20-17 game. It's going to be close as far as hitting the over-under, but I don't see them going over, especially considering they scored 23 points last game, which was only 3 weeks ago. So my money's on the Cardinals. I actually be willing to bet my hair on it, but I already lost that bet, so I don't have hair anymore.
This would be the hair bet. All right.
Well, I said almost. It's not, but almost.
I agree with you on this one, man. I think the Cardinals, if they had won the last game, the last meeting between these guys, then I probably would be more leaning towards the Seahawks.
Yeah,
because I think it's hard for division opponents. Anytime I see that a division opponent has already beaten another one, and it was a competitive game, which I think this one is a little bit more competitive than that. Score read. So I tend to think that this is one of those games to where I'd probably fuck with the spread a little bit. And since I'm already getting plus 2.5 spread for the Seahawks in this range, I would try and get the Cardinals at plus money is what I would try and do, because I do think they win this game too. I think it is going under again, which I am a little bit skeptical. I probably wouldn't bet that, just for the simple fact that these games, if two teams have seen each other before, sometimes that can go a little bit awry. And one of these teams could end up scoring 38 points and the other team scores 10. It's weirder things have happened.
Real quick to that point, think about this. So Seattle doesn't have the best weather either. Now the game's in Arizona, but the last game it was pretty decent weather in Seattle. They scored 22 points, and then you got the AFC North. You know, the Steelers and Browns, which historically has been a 12-9 game, 13-6 game, but they're scoring, 28, 25, 24-19. So
it would be one of those things where I would dip a little bit further into before going over or against.
Yeah.
Just knowing that it went under this last one, I would and I didn't do this. So
it went further. It went really far under too.
Yeah, it did. But I would look back at the history of these two teams. What do they normally do? Do they, how do they, because Gino's been there now for a couple of years. So you're going to have a little bit of a track record. Yeah. You're going to have a track record on Kyler Murray. You're going to see how they played each other. And I did not look. I'm an idiot for that.
Normally I do. I didn't look it up this time for some reason.
I normally do too.
I'm more looking at because obviously and honestly, it hasn't really helped doing it before. With other teams, I'm like, oh, this team has been 1-7 against spread, whatever the number is.
And with this matchup, it wouldn't change my mind.
Yeah, honestly, it wouldn't. I think the Cardinals win this game. That's
I think you're getting a great pick. I think you're getting another great pick on money line with the Cardinals.
Yes, minus 145. Agreed. Yeah, that's
in fact, Josh. At the end of these breakdowns, I think we'll put together our 3 most confident picks of what money line, which teams we think. We'll kind of mix it up a little bit. He didn't know I was going to even pull this off, and I didn't know that I was even going to say it. So, but knowing that we've got some that we're kind of leaning towards a little bit heavier than normally, I think we could put together a three-leg parlay that give you some plus odds here and see what we come up with real quick. But
agreed.
At least do that. I like to give you at least a couple picks, but this is another one. I think a money line is a great pick on this. Minus 145. I'll take the Cardinals at minus 145 in this.
At home, and they just lost the previous matchup. Absolutely.
Yep. And if you want to spice it up a little bit, add McBride on for like 25 yards.
Yeah. add him on for 20 catches. He'll probably get that too.
I doubt that, but
okay, 5 catches. He'll get that. He's getting 5. He's definitely
Yeah,
getting 5.
he probably will. I know that 25 yards looks appealing almost every week,
Agreed.
and I know that some weeks you can get it at better prices, some weeks not. But
Yeah.
even 40 yards sometimes that dude's just a target machine. But yeah, I love like
Yeah.
over 5.5 catches for him usually hits.
Mhm.
And in this game, it's going to be competitive. I think he's going to see those targets. So
Agreed.
yeah, but money line safe pick on the Cardinals. That's what I like. Josh
Yep.
does too. We'll go on to the next game. And here we go. We got the Buffalo Bills record 10-2. That's a mean record. Los Angeles Rams record 6-6. Plus 160 for the Rams, minus 190 money line for the Bills, minus 3.5 spread, plus 3.5 on the Rams side. Over under 49.5. All right. I'm going to say first off, that hits. I like the over under at 49.5. Definitely like that.
Which part?
Huh?
Over or under?
Over it.
Okay.
I like the over 49.5 there. And second, I like the Bills. I know they're on a big win streak. I know I say this shit all the time, that I like going against win streaks, but I tried. I really did.
I tried so hard.
But the Rams are just not the consistent team in this. And the Bills, Josh Allen, look, that dude is playing on a different level this year.
Yep.
Fully, I mean, he is working some magic over there, dude. And I'm kind of believing in him a little bit more. Every single game, this guy is he's taking some monster hits. That's the one thing I don't like.
Yep.
He is taking some fucking shots back there sometimes. But overall, I just can't find it with the Rams. When I look over at that side, the games that the Bills are winning are impressive. Who they're beating is impressive. They've been playing a pretty stout schedule right now, and not saying that the Rams aren't having to face some tough competition, but I mean, hold on. Just the Bills have played Kansas City. Granted, San Francisco is not what they were. Indianapolis, yeah, okay. Miami, division opponent. Those games can always be iffy, and it was close, but they got the win. They played Seattle. On the other hand, you're looking at New Orleans. They beat them. Okay. Philadelphia, you lost pretty handily to them, which is understandable. You didn't win by that much against New England. You lost to Miami, and you took Seattle to OT. I just can't trust that you're going to be able to beat the Bills right now. The Bills are rolling. I don't like the team that is on that many wins in a row, but I think that at some point you kind of have to look at it as, and we lost Josh again. What the hell, Josh? No, but I just think that in my opinion, you're looking at the Bills. They're just the better team in this. I think they're going to put up more points. I do like that over 49.5. I think that's a strong bet. But yeah, I'm going Bills in this. Minus 190, I don't think is that necessarily of a bad of a price to get them on the money line there. It's under 200 right at this point. So I would be pretty comfortable taking them on that money line. But let me see if I can reconnect Josh here. All right, man. Sorry, we lost Josh. But yeah, again, my pick is going to be. We got Josh back, by the way, as you can see. Welcome back. We,
Thanks.
but yeah, my pick is going to be the Bills on this money line. But yeah, Josh, I'm going to pass it back to you, man. Let's hear what you got to say.
All right. Sorry about that. Having some technical difficulties tonight. Don't know what that's about. That's usually not a thing, but apparently tonight it's Friday, so it wants to be a little bitch. My internet, whatever. This game comes.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he is freezing up on us. Let me see if I can get him back real quick. All right, I found him. He's back. I'll let him continue. Josh, your floor.
Yeah, don't know what's going on. My internet's being stupid. They are digging in the neighborhood in my backyard, laying fiber lines, which I don't have fiber yet, but that's definitely messing with my connection.
Laying pipe?
Huh?
Laying pipe?
Yeah, no, they're laying fiber. Whatever.
Fiber pipe.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the game. Don't know how much you guys heard of what I was saying. First of all, Brady, the Los Angeles Rams. Okay, sure.
Oh yeah.
Hooked on phonics worked for me, but whatever.
Oh, eat a dick.
Yeah. En español, por favor. So, yeah, the Bills, again, the Bills have won a lot of games in a row. We don't like the long winning streaks, and they're going West Coast, which East Coast teams going to West Coast is not as much of a problem as usually West Coast going to East Coast. But I can see a scenario. I'm trying to see a scenario where you pick the Rams in this game. But again, what is their path to victory? The Bills' defense has been really solid recently, very solid. And again, they have arguably the best quarterback in the league. If not the best, top 3 or 4. We can all make cases for different guys. He's an MVP candidate. The Bills need this win. The Rams need it too. The Bills just have more talent, and they're just a better team. They're playing better. I just don't see a path to victory for the Rams, especially when Stafford's going to have to throw the ball 45 times. That's not conducive to the Rams winning because they have to have a balanced offense. They have pieces on offense, but their offensive line, even though it's healthy, still has not been very good. So, yeah, Bills win this game. I will say this, though. I do not like the over 49.5. I like the under because I don't think the Rams can score more than 21 points. Now, the Bills can score 35, of course, but I wouldn't touch the over-under. If you want to, again, you got a wild hair, I would go under the 49.5 points. That's a lot of points. Even though it's indoors, I see this game being 24-21, 28-17, something like that. But Bills win.
Yeah.
Line's pretty good. Minus 190. Again, parlay that with the Titans, the Dolphins. You probably got a pretty good parlay there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, okay. Bills win. We're on to the next.
All right, so now we're on to the Chicago Bears, the 4-8 Chicago Bears going to the 5-7 San Francisco 49ers. Huh. Interesting. Is it me or is there a lot of games this week where there's teams under 500 playing each other?
Yeah, appears that way, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely does. A couple of things in this game. The Niners are beat up. The Bears have been playing better since they fired Eberflus, which is definitely warranted. I mean, he's still trying to call a timeout from wherever he is, but he can't do it because you can't take him with you. He didn't know that, apparently.
It's now time for
I just think the Niners they still have something to play for. They can still make the playoffs. The division is still very much in play. Trent Williams is hurt. That's a big one on the offensive line. Brock Purdy's beat up. They're beat up on defense too. Obviously, they're missing McCaffrey and Jordan Mason, both out for the year. Yikes. However, I really think that Garendo, he ran a 4.39. He's a fast running back. He averages 5.9 yards per carry in his limited time this year that he's gotten. I believe he's breathed some life into this Niners offense, which they need. And Kyle Shanahan can make things work. He is an awesome coach. That's why he's been in 2 Super Bowls as head coach. Lost them both, obviously. But I just think the Niners have more to play for. and they're just better coached. Nothing against the Bears, but the Bears going on the road. It's not a division game, so they're just going to show up and try to go through the motions and do what they can. But I see the Niners winning this game, honestly. And they're minus 200, which is, again, not terrible. The over-under, I would probably – it's 43.5. That's a rough number. Wouldn't touch that. I would just go Niners money line and probably, again, parlay it with something else. Titans, Dolphins, we've named out several games that you can parlay it with that'll probably win. We've picked a lot of road teams to win it too. And usually it's like 60% of the home teams win. The Niners pull out this win. They need it. And they've lost, 4 or 5 in a row, is it, Brady?
The Bears?
No, the Niners have lost like 4 in a row, 5 in a row, something like that.
3
in a row?
Yeah.
They win this game. Niners win this game, definitely, for sure. I think Caleb Williams is going to go back to doing Caleb Williams things. Throw a pick, probably a pick 6. But, yeah, Niners win this game for sure.
All right. I'm going the Bears.
Oh,
The
wow.
Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Dick is not coaching anymore, right?
No, listen. How many times do I fucking say this? It's 6 games. 6 games the Bears have lost. And yes, the 49ers have lost 3 games.
Yeah.
Yes, probably the more talented team. Yes, they are at home. And yes, I do think that Shanahan is the better coach. Something's got to give, though. And Williams isn't going to give up on his season. It's not going to matter to him if the rest of the team is. He's still going to try and get his. Nobody wants their rookie numbers to look like dog shit. And right now, his are on the borderline of dog shit. So anything he can do to make him, clean up that little turd is
like cat
probably
shit?
Gonna, I mean, whatever.
Is that a step up? I don't know.
I just think that this is a perfect combination. Yeah, they're on the road. I get it. I'm not necessarily very confident in this pick, and I'm not going to bet this by any means. I've already taken way too many of these to be comfortable in my own shoes right now, and I'm definitely not going to the reason I'm taking them in the other ones is because you're talking about teams that are winning 10 games in a row. Something crazy. And then the people that the team that they're going against is on pretty much a skid. So I'm just betting against those kind of obvious things that, hey, listen, Vegas controls the show. I've told you this before. And if you get too comfortable picking shit like that, that's exactly where you get bit. And this is the kind of thing that bites you right here. And I think it's just, I'm not betting it. I'm not telling you to bet this one. I'm not confident in this, but I'm picking the Bears. I think it's a good price. I think it's a little bit too spread out right now. If you're giving minus 200 for a team that just lost both their starting running backs, the first string and the backup, and then you're putting that much pressure on Brock Purdy, which this year it's not working out that way, people.
And he's injured too.
And okay, so even plays more to my point. You've got a team like with Caleb Williams, he still wants to win. That record is not going to look terrible if he can tack on a couple more wins.
Yeah.
You're not looking at the Bears like the shittiest team on the fucking planet right now, or in that division at least. Yeah. If they can tack on 2 more wins, think about what they look like then. So in the next 2 games, they tack on 2 more wins. They're 6-8. Then what? So in his mind, he has to be thinking, this is a winnable game. Out of all, we've played 6 games in a row. Mm-hmm. We've lost every single one of them. Your mindset has to be into a game like this. This is a very winnable game for us. So let's go out, win the game, take it away, do the unexpected. So again, if you're feeling very confident in the things that I'm saying, then I would say pick the Bears money line. If not, then don't. I'm not going to take it because I don't feel confident in these teams' records, period. 5-7 and 4-8. I'm not going to put money on that shit. I'm putting money on the shit that I think is way off base that shouldn't, eventually something's got to give. Yeah. I don't know which one this is going to give, but I'm betting that the Bears in this situation at this point in time are going to be able to get this done. That's where I'm going.
Honestly, I picked the Niners, but to back your point up, though, the Super Bowl hangover is always a real thing. We know that throughout history. And this Niners team, like I mentioned, they're just so beat up. Everybody's injured. So it would not surprise me in the least if the Bears end up taking, pulling out the win. Again, neither one of us are going to bet this stuff. I say Niners pull it out in a close game because they're kind of on even keel here. You said the Bears. Let's see what happens. Again, fun to watch. Let's see what goes on. Let's see what goes down.
It will be fun. But yeah, I'm going Bears. The Bears.
The Bears. All right, so the next game we have the Los Angeles Chargers, spelled correctly, going to the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, hooked on finance worked for me. Again, +4 spread, over under 42.5, which did not hit the last time these two teams played. The Chiefs won in Los Angeles, and the Chargers cost me my hair, so I'm really hesitant to pick them. However, the Chargers are a good team, man, and the Chiefs have been eking out wins against the worst teams in the league, too. So, if I had hair, my hairlock pick of the week this week would be the Chiefs to eke out another win somehow, because the refs are going to call some bullshit pass interference or something like that, or whatever's going to happen. Chiefs find ways to win. Chiefs find a way to win this game again. I think the Chargers cover the 4-point spread, though. Mahomes is a magician. Andy Reid, can't bet against him. Chargers are, again, dome team, warm weather team, going, out in the elements. It's cold in Kansas City. I'm in the Midwest, so it's cold here, too. I don't see the Chargers winning this game because they're beat up, too. No J.K. Dobbins. The Chiefs getting Pacheco back healthy. And I think that the Chiefs are going to, again, find a way to win a close game because that's just what they do. They figure out ways to win. So, yes, the Chiefs pull this one out. I really like the 4-point spread. Brady loves the alternate spreads. I do, too. So, if you can get the Chargers to, 6 points, 7 points, you probably still get a decent number on that. I would do that because it's going to be close. It's going to be within 7 points, but the Chiefs end up pulling it out.
All right. Josh, let me just start this off by saying, I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Okay, Tyson.
Hold on.
And I've been waiting for this moment for all my life.
This is what I'm saying.
Hold on.
This is the same shit. Again, hold on to your shorts, Kansas City, because unfortunately, this one's going to be a loss.
Oh, I almost went that way too. You're going Chargers?
I'm going to go Chargers on this one, people.
I was this close, and I switched it up.
These games between these two teams are weird. They're fucking weird.
They are weird. And the Chargers usually win games they shouldn't win against the Chiefs. So I can see it happening, but I'm sick of my Chiefs pick. But go ahead.
I totally get it. Whatever. And I know there's going to be some people that are definitely not going to agree with this pick, and that's fine. But listen, how many victories do you continue to eke out? I get it. You're good.
right?
You're good, and you're very, 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 very fucking lucky because everything just happens to you and not against you, which is amazing. I mean, bless my God, you are. That's the same. Holy crap, man. This is like the miracle child of all NFL teams right now. Like everything that can. I don't even know how they got beat. It like somebody must have come down and deflated the ball, or
no, that's the Patriots. Wrong
my
team.
bad. They must have
wrong team, wrong dynasty.
them. They must have filmed them, or
no, that was the Patriots again.
My bad.
Wrong team, wrong dynasty.
I don't know what they did, but I'm telling you, this is some weird shit. And I just listen. I'm not. This is again one of those that if I was going to bet it, I do like Josh's pick with the +4 spread. I think that's a really good pick because I think this is a close game. I think it's going to come down to a possible field goal here to get this done. And I'm not going to be surprised if the Chiefs pull it out by any means. And sometimes when you do this shit, you kind of got to pick the unorthodox a little bit. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to pick the Chiefs. And this number is probably going to get better for you. So
it's towards
game time, it might get better than +180. I would hold off if you do feel strongly the Chiefs are going to, or the Chargers might get this done. Take a money line bet on something like this. If you're feeling good about it, it's not crazy to think that they can get this done. The Chiefs, yes, they're good at home, but they're not infallible at home. So remember that. So I don't know. I think I'm going Chargers.
Man, I was this close to going Chargers too, but I mean, I'm in Missouri, man. We're the show me state. You gotta show me. The Chiefs just keep doing it.
They do.
No matter what, they just keep doing it. Now, that being said, this is gonna be the game where the Chargers actually do win, and I would have kept my hair, but I'm still sticking with the Chiefs because again, they keep doing it, and the refs wear Patrick Mahomes' underwear, so we're gonna keep going with that. They have help.
I get it.
Really, I'm not buying that stuff, but there are some questionable calls in every game. However, I still think the Chiefs pull it out somehow, some way, because at the end of the day, they do still have the best quarterback on the planet, and he just knows how to win. So I see the Chiefs pulling this one out.
I totally get it, Josh. I totally do. But you know what the chances of you sweeping your entire division are 2 times on each game in a season?
Oh, very rare. Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Well, now that's where we're at.
Yeah, and I know, and that's almost why that's why I was almost leaning towards Chargers, but I just can't do it because the Chiefs do nothing but pull out close games and low scoring games, and they win. And Pacheco's back, and he looked good last game. So they're going to ramp him up this game, and I think they're going to run the ball. The Chargers don't have Dobbins. Losing Dobbins is the big deal because Gus Edwards is, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. That's all he is.
What? You hear that every game, but then you know what? Here's what will happen. I'll be like, oh, yeah, he's going to suck. He's going to suck. And I'll put everything on a Chiefs running back, and then guess what? Gus Edwards comes out and looks like Barry Sanders for one fucking game.
That's not going to happen. Also, another determining factor.
All he's got to do is score touchdowns.
Well, they got to get down there first. And also, because
not impossible.
Hey, but Ladd McConkey is highly questionable. And if he does play, he's very banged up. Very banged up. And I'm not going to put stock in
how, again, to your point, look at how badly Quentin Johnson has played. So I look for him out of nowhere.
No.
To actually catch the ball.
He won't. He won't.
He will.
The actual saving grace they might have is they do have Disley. The Chiefs are terrible against tight ends. On seam routes, they're like the worst team in the league. So if McConkey can play, even as a decoy, and draw coverage away, and Disley can run seam routes, eat him up that way, that's a possibility. But if Dobbins and McConkey were at full health, I would definitely go Chargers. And also, I think Bosa's out too still. So the Chargers defense is, lessened, if you will. They're hurt and banged up.
Amongst all things, Chargers still win. You're looking at a team that had trouble against the Raiders.
Okay, bet your hair on it. You don't have any. Never mind.
I mean, I'm getting a haircut in like the next 2.5 weeks. So
what are you getting cut? You already got a stupid little faux hawk going on. So what are you getting cut?
I keep it tight, man. Know what this is about.
Okay. All right. So Brady says Chargers. I say Chiefs. The over-under, again, I wouldn't bet it. I would actually, I think the under hits on this one. I think it's a 27 team. Huh?
Over.
Over? How is that? Who's going to score for the Chargers? Gus Edwards?
Justin Herbert.
He's going to have 12 carries for like 13 yards.
And 3 touchdowns.
Who's catching the ball?
We'll revisit this one just like we will that other game that I'm going to do.
Who's catching the ball for the Chargers?
Did you remember which game that other one was? Because I want to keep track of which ones that you're going to be like, oh,
okay.
Fuck.
Who's catching the ball? Answer that question. For the Chargers, who's catching the ball?
Justin Herbert will catch his own fucking balls. I don't give a shit.
He's not Josh Allen.
Quentin Johnson's going to come out of nowhere. Will Disley is going to be a big factor in this game.
Yeah,
and McCarthy's going to play. He's going to play. He's going to play.
Not enough, but okay.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine because here's the thing. It's just destined to happen.
Honestly, I kind of believe I agree with that to a certain extent. But if I'm betting it, again, not going to bet it. But if I'm leaning toward the team, the Chiefs still they pull shit out of their ass more so than the Patriots ever do. I will say,
this isn't my favorite.
No, yeah,
it's not my favorite out of the ones that I'm picking like this. But there's a lot of them this week. But this is not the one that I'm picking this week. I already told you we'll go over this shit. We'll go over this shit, homies. But on to the next game.
All right, so now we have the 4-8 Cincinnati Bengals. That record is very disappointing for the Bengals. Sucks. Versus the 5-7 Dallas Cowboys, who we all know the Cowboys, the shit show they've been this year. The Bengals have kind of been the same thing. This is going to be a fun game. I'm looking forward to watching this game. Believe it or not, yeah, the records suck, but for a Monday night game, it's going to be entertaining. Neither one of these teams can make the playoffs. I mean, they're not mathematically limited yet, but they don't have a chance to make it. I think the Bengals, just because of Joe Burrow, are going to go in there and light the Cowboys up. The Bengals defense sucks too. So I think Cooper Rush and Rico Dowdle and CeeDee Lamb's banged up, but the Cowboys will be able to move the ball too and score some points. I'm not really confident in the 49.5 points. That seems like a lot. But betting wise, the Bengals minus 240 money line. The Bengals win this game just because they're the better team. They are the better coach team too. They have better players. I mean, Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown, Burrow, of course. Both teams have their issues on offense and defense. The Cowboys definitely have more players on defense, I think. The Bengals have Trey Henderson. Cowboys have Parsons, who's a game wrecker. It's going to be a fun game to watch, just for shits and giggles. Put some parlays in, man, because whatever you want to hit, I think there's going to be points scored. I just don't know if it goes over 49.5. That seems like a lot of points for a backup quarterback, Cooper Rush, to like hit that number. I don't being able to, as bad as the Bengals defense is, I don't see him being able to put up 24, 28 points to get the over. But I think the Bengals can definitely score 28 points, and it's going to be close to the over-under. However, my money is going to be on the Bengals to win the game. The 5-point spread is intriguing. I'm really kind of wishy-washy on if the Cowboys can cover that. The Bengals defense is bad. But I wouldn't touch any of the spread. I just put the money in the Bengals to win the game, the money line. And again, parlay it with something else we've been saying. Titans, Dolphins, whatever you feel confident in. Again, fun game to watch. I definitely there's hardcore fantasy implications in this game for me on where my teams end up in, like what seed I get in my fantasy league. So I'll definitely be watching. But for betting purposes, Bengals win the game. Bet their money line, parlay with something else that's good. Try to get the plus odds and go from there. What about you?
Couldn't agree more. I mean, Burrow fucking bought a Batmobile.
He what?
He bought a Batmobile, dude.
I love Joe Burrow. He's awesome.
Yeah. He owns a Batmobile.
Macaulay Culkin.
Listen, I'm full in on the dude that owns the Batmobile right now.
Right.
And he's going to get it soon. But, that just has to make you play a little bit better. And especially when you look at the way you've been playing this year and you've been playing like Batman, your team just can't get it right. I don't know what.
Hey,
I honestly, you've been losing close games,
dude. And hold on, real quick to your point, Burrow has been lighting it up.
Yeah, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Not the Bengals. Yeah, he is not the Bengals' problem. It's their defense. Yeah, he has gone above and beyond to try to get the Bengals to where they need to be, and the rest of the team just is not doing it, particularly the defense.
Yeah, and that's pretty much my point. I mean, he's been doing enough to beat a team like the Cowboys. I'll tell you that. And this Cowboys team they're not solid. A lot of issues going on there. You're not going to be able to trust this team to get it done week by week. But what we do know is that Burrow does. He does his job week to week. And it's just, unfortunately, the team is just not – there's just always something missing week after week after week. They get close. They're competitive in their games. They are honestly each game. I think last week they were super competitive. It's kind of like, damn, you keep scoring. Out of all the times that we're scoring and scoring and scoring, and you just keep going, man. It's like you can't really. There's nothing you can do when another team is on fire. They're still putting up points. They just can't stop shit right now.
He's not playing defense, unfortunately.
But here's the thing: the Bengals can't stop something from a good team. The Cowboys are not a good team,
right? And
that's what is going to break this down to. I feel pretty confident in the Bengals winning this game. And again, at minus 240, this is the type of shit that I look for all the time. Something that the books are telling you that they're pretty confident in it. I feel pretty confident in this. You've done your homework. These are the type of picks. There's a couple of them. Me and Josh are going to, in just a second, talk about these little parlay pieces because I just put one together that I'm kind of wondering, Haven't got his opinion, but I'm going to get it in a second. But yeah, I'm in on the Bengals on this one. I think they finally get a win that they've needed for a while. It's going to happen.
So here's something I just thought of. How many times has a team that's 4-8 gone on the road to a team that's got a better record at 5-7, and they're favored by 5 points? I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. So you, Brady, betting wise, whatever, watching football, that to me is an anomaly, but it speaks to the Bengals are a better team. And yeah, their record's 4-8. Their record's not as good, but they have more talent. And that's a crazy stat. It just hit me. I'm like, wow. They're favored by 5 points and they're 4-8. Not many 4-8 teams go on the road to a better team, or a team with a better record, we should say, and they're favored by 5 points, on the road. That really doesn't happen. And it's because the Bengals have the talent and their defense has just been shit this year. And they have spent a lot. They have a lot of draft capital in their defense. They actually have a good defensive coordinator. He's not bad. It's just not coming together this year. Joe Burrow is keeping that team afloat. He's a top 10 fantasy quarterback. I think top 8 fantasy quarterback. He's doing his part. The offense is humming. Their defense just cannot stop anybody. But they're going to stop Cooper Rush enough times because CeeDee Lamb is banged up. I mean, if you watch the Cowboys games at all, every time CeeDee Lamb catches the pass or gets tackled, he's always holding his shoulder. He's got some kind of, AC sprain, whatever it is. He's still playing through it, but he's dinged up. The Cowboys just don't have enough to keep up with the Bengals. It's just weird to me that you never see a 4-8 team going on the road and they're favored by 5 points. That doesn't happen. I'm sure it's happened before. I can't recall an instance off the top of my head where that's been the case. Seems a little weird to me. So take the Bengals to win the game for sure.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. So I think we're both on the Bengals here, but so let's let's get to some of our favorite picks. And hey, by the way, if you've stayed here long enough and you've listened to this whole thing and some of what we're saying makes sense, hit the like and subscribe. Give us a comment. Let us know what you're thinking of the content that we're putting out. We're trying to do as many sports as we can right now. Obviously, we do have lives outside of here, so we have to maintain some sort of balance there. And people, we're not using systems that we don't have Outlier. We don't have these things. Hey, by the way, if you want to help us out, we would love it. Please. But hey, we don't have things like that right now. So we're just going on the things that we see, the things that we read, the things that we look at ourselves, look at for stat as far as the things that we're seeing. We've been doing this a long time. Even though we're new to the YouTube channel, we've been doing this for a while. So Just know that we're putting a lot of time into this. So yeah, if we're not getting out all the NBA picks or all of those picks on time, they're coming. We're focusing right now on more like UFC and NFL. That's where the focus has been. So when we have really good picks for you on one sport or another, of course, we'll throw them out there to you. And it may be quick offs, but we'll get them out to you. But just know this is what we're doing. But yeah. So Josh.
And also hold on real quick to speak to that too. Let us know what we could do better too. Comments, likes, subscribes. We want that. But also, we're all about constructive criticism. So let us know what we can do better, what you all would like to see us do more, and we'll definitely take it into consideration. And Let's all just win some money, have some fun, be entertained because sports and betting are entertainment. So, bet responsibly.
Christmas. It's
And
Christmas time. We
let's
got to
just
make extra money. We got to make
right.
extra money
Yeah,
right
trust
now.
me. We're all trying to supplement the income because, we want to make money and be independently wealthy.
That's right. That's the goal. I mean, if we can hit one of these plus 20,000 parlays, we're all fucking set,
Right?
baby. Let's go.
Let's do that.
So here's what I did. Just kind of throw something together really quick. And Josh, we've gone through this whole thing. We've kind of gone through some of our picks. So I told you I was highly confident in the Steelers money line. So I put that in, and this is a 3-leg parlay. We can do as many legs as you want, but let me know what, like, Josh, on your end, what do you think of these? I tried the Steelers money line, Arizona Cardinals money line, and Cincinnati Bengals money line. I got plus 224 on that. What do you think?
I like that. Plus 224? Yeah. I do like that a lot because you're going with, again, the Cardinals lost to Seahawks in Seattle. Now they're coming home. Usually division teams split, especially when they're close in talent, which those two are. Same with the Browns and the Steelers. The Browns somehow won that game, the Snow Globe game. So Steelers are in first place and have a lot to play for. I see the Steelers winning that game. And then, the Bengals, just because of the Bengals and they're better than the Cowboys are, the Bengals should not be 4-8. They really should not be 4-8. Their record should be reversed. It's not, but it is what it is. And the Cowboys are starting backup quarterback. I mean, Burrow versus Cooper Rush. Yeah, to me, that seems solid. I like it.
So if we have the Steelers, Cardinals, and Bengals in one, then
hey, why not? Hey, let me ask this. Just to play devil's advocate a little bit, or, how do you want to call it? First of all, quick side note. Brady and I really don't like long parlays. We try to keep it to 3-4 legs. You don't want to be doing 6, 7, 8 legs. That's just too much.
Let me hold on. Let me say this. I do think on a week-to-week basis, if you have the ability to throw in $1,
a dollar,
shot,
of course,
by all means. But here's what I like to do, and I do this on fighting as well. I like to put in a parlay piece for everything that I think might hit. Yeah. And then as I go back through, then I will try and eliminate the stuff that I think is just too far-fetched.
Right.
And that's how I will develop some of my parlays, like in that method.
You definitely want to do the long parlay, the 7, 8, 9, 10 leg parlay if you want to, or $2 or $5 or whatever. But as far as like putting substantial amount on it, for doing, if your unit's $10 or is $25, whatever, keep the large bets to way more condensed. 3-4 legs, no more than that. So what I was going to say is, we feel confident in those. I really feel confident in the Titans too. So
okay, that's what I was going to ask you. So here's what I like to do. Obviously, we've got a 3-leg parlay that we feel pretty strongly in, the Steelers, Cards, and Bengals right there, right? So put that in at plus 224. And I don't know what your unit is. It just depends. If it's $10, fine, 30, 40, 50, 100, whatever it is. If it's $100, that's a big come up. You're going to win 224 on a bet like that. So let me just here's another thing that because I too was looking and I'm like, hey, I feel really strong about the Titans. I looked at that too. So what if you put the Titans and another thing is, when you're doing some stretched out parlays like this, one thing, if you're doing a big parlay, it doesn't really matter because you're not going to put a ton of money on it. And if it does pay off down the line and it's includes all the people that you put in a 3-leg, then that's, to me, that's okay, because you're still taking a worthy risk, because you thought they were going to hit on this 3-leg. You're hoping they hit on this other 3-leg that you put in. So if you put them in all together, if you hit it, it's a great bonus. It's a big come up. But
Yeah. But
so if we're putting in another one, we got the Titans. Out of the games that we haven't picked, what else would you put in there?
Believe it or not, Dolphins.
I was looking at that too.
Yeah,
All right.
Dolphins for sure. And man, believe it or not, I would probably some reason I would toss the Giants in.
Okay, I get that.
But what? Okay, so we agree on the Titans and Dolphins. That I would think the Giants, because I really think they're going to win that game. What would your third pick be?
I was kind of looking at, if I was going money line, I'm kind of looking at that Bills.
I'm going money lines.
Okay, if I'm just going money line,
yeah,
I think I'm probably looking at Bills. I feel pretty confident that even though they're going on the road, that they get that done. I don't dislike your Giants pick. I honestly, you know what?
Dude, I just think that the Saints, and we've seen Derek Carr so many times, like what he does, he just goes and shits the bed. And the Giants have, as flawed as they are, they really have a good defensive line that can get after the quarterback. And when you can pressure Derek Carr, he folds like a cheap lawn chair. And he's outdoors in the cold weather. And he has nowhere to throw to, because Taysom Hill's out for the year, and probably his career's done, unfortunately, or towards ACL. That's bad. That sucks. So basically, Derek Carr has Alvin Kamara, and he's got MVS, which he's going to throw up. What's he going to do? Just throw prayer MVS and hope he catches them?
Yeah, no
he ain't
shit.
got Olave. And their defense is just as banged up, and they traded Marshawn Lattimore, their best cornerback. So even though it's Drew Lock, like I love the Giants in that game. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like the Giants. It's just, if you're looking along the lines of safe, here's what I think. Some of these are going to be intertwined. So where I guarantee you that either the Steelers, the Cards, or Bengals are going to hit. One of those teams. So when I'm looking at this, I also feel very strongly about the Titans. I also feel very strongly about the Dolphins.
mm-hmm.
While I do still like the Giants, I think that's a riskier play.
Agreed. So
I don't dislike
are you saying use one of the Cardinals, Steelers, and Bengals in that
or
one too?
I mean, dude, here's the thing. Every time that I look at it, I look at a game, and it reminds me of like this Bengals game, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, they can't lose this. It seems like they always lose this, and right now I'm looking at two games that I'm like,
okay, so
one of these is going to be good to go.
So you're saying using one of the Steelers, Bengals, or Cardinals in the second with the Dolphins
and mixing it with the Dolphins and the Titans.
Oh, then if that's what you're saying, then I would say Steelers.
That would be my
that's my pick. Out of if you're gonna mix them or choose one of the three from the original one to put in the second one to make three, Steelers.
Now your odds go down, obviously, plus 198. But dude, you're getting
that's still good.
$100, win 200, almost $200. I'm gonna take something like that. You need
Agreed.
to write that one down.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, I think the safest pick out of the original three is the Steelers. Steelers win that game. I think so.
I think so too. And
Yeah.
then, okay, so now let's get risky with it. What do you, let's do a risky one. I know right away, I'm going to start off with the Falcons +6. I don't think it's too risky, but I think it's risky in a way. I could take them on the money line. I've already picked them to win the game. So at a +200, if I'm getting crazy with it and I'm like, hey, fuck it, I'm going all out, balls to the wall. This is Kirk Cousins. He's coming back,
Revenge
+200.
game.
If we
Do
put in
you
a
like that?
do you like that? Do you like that?
No. He's going against the Vikings, so it's do you like that?
Oh, my bad. Okay. Well, whatever. Okay,
Get it right.
that's +200 for them to win.
I don't know, man. Okay, so here's the thing with, and we didn't get into this when we did the breakdown. Here's the issue I have with the Falcons is they have no pass rush. None. Zero. Okay, picture this. 15 sacks on the year. Do you know how many sacks they had going into last week?
No.
10. They somehow were able to sack Justin Herbert 5 times last week. And they only had 10 on the year, which is the lowest in the Super Bowl era through like 11 games or 12 games, whatever it was. So I don't see them being able to get to Darnold, and Darnold can just pick them apart. That's my issue with that. Last week was the Chargers coming across the country, and their offensive line did not perform well. No Dobbins. They sacked Herbert 5 times. Going to Minnesota, they're not getting a Darnold 5 times. So the issue is if Darnold has time, like any other NFL quarterback that's respectable, he's going to pick them apart. That's the issue I have. That's why I don't trust the Falcons winning that game.
Okay. So
No pass
again,
rush.
we're going long shots here. This is
Well,
our
no,
one
I get
three-leg
that.
parlay that we're going long. So you don't think they can cover the spread?
No, I think they keep it close. Yeah, they cover the spread. They don't win the game, though.
Okay, so if we take the spread +6,
Yeah.
+6, we'll put that in as our first one, and then we'll go. I mean,
Dude, if you're going risky, I actually love your Chargers bet. It didn't hit for me when I picked them to beat the Ravens.
you like the Chargers bet better than the Bears? If we're going risky?
Ooh.
Because if I took the Bears at +145,
Yeah.
then you're talking about something that is going to be that's a hell of an uptick right there.
Well, what's the Chargers at? They're at +180.
+170.
170, yeah. I mean, yeah,
What's more realistic, though, in your eyes? I mean,
Chargers, to me, honestly, is Chargers.
you think that it's more realistic? I mean, if we put them both in?
Dude, yeah, I mean, if you want to go ballsy. But also, that's 3 road teams in one parlay. I don't like that. I don't like that.
But we're just picking the spread in one of them. It's not like you're putting in them to win.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, but still you're still betting on 3 road teams, and that's just hey,
that's the point of a long shot.
Well, yeah, so put $1 on it.
What if it's the only 3 long? Well, in this case, $1.
It could very well be the only shots that hit for sure. What, dude? Dude, I would, if you're going long shots, then toss the Giants in instead of the Chargers or the Bears.
Okay, now so aside from a long shot, now if I'm going my most confident picks, if I'm putting mine together right now,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go, and this is so I'm just gonna put this together really quick. This is gonna be super fucking quick, but here's what I'm going,
That's what she said.
and she was right.
Because it's been a while.
I'm going Panthers plus 21.5 in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
In the second game, I'm going to go Raiders plus 16.5. Falcons, Minnesota. Falcons plus 11.5.
Okay.
I'm going to go Steelers money line.
Mm-hmm. Toss the Dolphins money line on there too.
I was actually thinking I'm going to go Dolphins just because it's going to be a huge ass parlay, and I can still get something reasonable.
Yeah.
So Dolphins plus 3.5, plus 2.5. And then I'm going to go Saints, or I'm going to go Giants at plus 13.5.
Probably go less than that on the Giants, but okay.
It's keep in mind what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to go Jaguars and Titans. I'm going to go under 53.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The Seahawks and Cardinals.
If you can get that like under 50, I would take that.
Actually going to put it under 54.5.
That's a lot. Yeah. Okay.
Bills, Rams. Let's do Bills plus 6.5.
Oh, the Bills plus 6.5. That's a good one.
Yeah, we'll go Bears. Bears, Niners.
I do the same thing there. I would do Bears plus 6.5.
I'm going to do Bears plus 13.5.
I think that's stretching it, but they're not going to get blown. They're not getting blown out. They're not getting blown out, dude.
I mean, that's the point. We're putting in the safest possible.
No, I know, but I mean, I think
huge leg parlay.
Yeah, I get you there.
And then KC. What if we went player prop here?
No.
Mahomes for one passing touchdown.
Oh yeah, do that for sure. One touch. If you can get one touchdown on Mahomes, yeah.
Got that. And then to finish it off,
Bengals
money line.
money line. Yep.
That's a 12-leg parlay. We've got Panthers plus 21.5, Raiders plus 16.5, Falcons plus 11.5, Steelers money line, Dolphins plus 2.5, Giants plus 13.5, under 53 in the Jaguars and Titans game, under 54.5 in the Seahawks and Cardinals game, Bills plus 6.5, Bears plus 13.5, Patrick Mahomes one passing touchdown, and Bengals money line. We get plus 1,821.
Holy snap!
So if you wanted to put 25 on something like that,
Right.
that's a $480 return. Even if you wanted to put $5 on it, it's 96.
Right.
Dude, I mean, I know it's a lot of legs, but hey, it's for fun. If you put $5 on it, $5, dude,
Yeah, you win $100.
you're going to be betting
Almost.
for a while.
Yeah. Right. Then you're building your bankroll. That's what we're always trying to do.
But if you want safe plays, listen to the whole show. Hit the like and subscribe. Me and Josh, we've talked your ear off tonight. We've had a good time. This is fun for us. We enjoy doing this type of stuff. We're going to have a lot more bets coming out, but this has been fun. I hope you've enjoyed the little picks that we've put together. If you listen long enough, hit the like and subscribe. Help us out. Keep this page growing. Until next time, peace out, people. Keep balling.
Have a good weekend.
Later.